Yes, it's true. Toyota is leaving Mexico. Toyota says they are going to move the manufacturing of the Tacoma pickup trucks that are going to be sold in the United States back to San Antonio, away from Mexico. Hey, maybe they've been listening to me saying, I wouldn't buy something made in Mexico. Now, if you don't know the truth of it, they made Tacomas in San Antonio, Texas. And they made them for quite some time. Toyota made Tacoma pickup trucks in San Antonio for 11 years, from 2010 to 2020. Then in late 2021, they moved everything to Mexico. And their quality has gone down. That's kind of obvious. Well, now Toyota's shifting gears here, and they're saying, we're going to move the American production back to San Antonio. Now, of course, this isn't an instant move. This isn't like, hey, I just sold my house, I'm moving now. Hey, they say that they'll probably start building these Tacomas in this expanded $3.6 billion San Antonio truck plant expansion by 2029 or 2030. So if it's 2030, that's still 4 years down the line, right? We know Toyota's playing politics here, but at least it looks like they're going to make a good move and bring the Tacomas back to San Antonio. Now, if they want to listen to old Scotty here, they ought to do one more thing. They should bring back the plain four-cylinder Tacoma with no turbo and the V6 Tacoma for people who want to tow and go off-road. So please, Toyota, you seem to have listened to me talking about, hey, move production out of Mexico. They're bringing it back to San Antonio. Maybe they'll listen to me and bring back the engines that everybody really wants. Well, if you thought self-driving cars was a big deal, believe it or not, and I'm not making this up, there are now self-driving toilets. Yes, a toilet can now find you, travel around, and you can sit on the toilet and do your business. They say by spoken command, it can go silently through your house, avoiding obstacles, and come to you to take away your biological waste, right? Now, it's Chinese, of course, right? The Chinese company, Yuban, showed a remarkable new toilet. It's called the Zhaoban. It's completely automated, self-propelled, and guided toilet that comes to you when you call it. Now, it's pretty interesting. It comes to you, and then after you do your business, the wastes are held on an inside chamber that it's got, so you don't smell anything, right? Then all the solids are masticated into a slurry, kind of like a big gulp, right? By using grinding gears, then the traveling toilet goes to your conventional non-traveling toilet in the bathroom, and it's got a little snout that comes out, and it throws the waste into your toilet and flushes it. Well, who would have thought we were going to have traveling toilets, but they're here now. Now, of course, this does make sense for immobile people, people in wheelchairs, people that have disabilities. Hey, the toilet comes to them, does its business, then goes back to your toilet and flushes it in. So, who would have thought that we would have self-driving toilets? But they're out there now, just waiting for your beck and command to come to you in your hour of need. Well, if you've been following the news, Trump is starting up a Freedom Fuel Network. Now, this enterprise is dozens of gas stations in Pennsylvania and New Jersey, where they say they are selling it presently at a fixed price of $3.49 per gallon for regular unleaded gasoline, which is about 32 cents cheaper than the price of the other gas stations are selling, right? Now, they're even charging $3.47 for whether you use a credit card or whether you pay cash. Kind of interesting, right? For example, there's one at a former Sunoco store in Dresser, Pennsylvania. Their prices are $3.47, and nearby, some of them are even $4.49. Now, of course, the oil industry, they don't like it, right? This guy who's the head of petroleum analysis at GasBuddy says, stations selling at this price. It's not sustainable. Generally, when losses happen, somebody's got to pay for it. Yeah, well, they're still making money, let me tell you. $3.47 a gallon for gasoline. They're still making money. That's, you know, they're always whining about anybody that's trying to undercut the price that these big greedy corporations set things at, right? Now, unfortunately, they only exist in those two states, right? People in Ohio can't get it yet, right? You don't have any idea who's doing it or isn't. As it stands today, there's 20 stations in Pennsylvania, mainly around Philadelphia, and there's 5 stations in South New Jersey, and that's it. So there's about 25 locations. And they didn't say whether it's going to expand or not, whether this is just some kind of a political gambit or not, or, hey, maybe somebody's going to start a chain that's going to undercut what the oil companies are charging. You know, as we all know, they try to say it's not, there's no antitrust involved. The oil companies are all independent. Hey, they all charge the same price. Come on now. They had that deal, remember, in California where they're being sued that they were using some computer system to fix the prices in one area in California for all the gas. And so when one went up, the other one went up. So, you know, they're not going to like this. So, hey, maybe this is a real company that's going to expand and sell lower priced gas, right? Who knows? Who knows? Only time will tell. We'll see what happens with Freedom Fuel. Well, if you're wondering what the 10 most deadly cars in the United States are, you're going to find out right now. Some of it's surprising, some of it isn't. Now, number 1 is the Hyundai Venue. It's the cheapest crossover in the market, and it leads the United States. All right, it has experienced 13.9 fatal accidents per billion miles traveled. It's the deadliest new car in the United States. Not surprising, you know. Now, number 2 actually makes a lot of sense. It's the Chevrolet Corvette. It has 13.6 fatal accidents per billion miles traveled. Now, that only makes sense. People drive like maniacs in them, right? I mean, now, the problem with this list, though, has one problem, is that the list is per billion miles driven. I'm sure Ferraris and Lamborghinis and stuff like that are even worse, but they don't drive a billion miles. There's not enough of them out there, so they're not included in the survey. So this is conventional cars that a lot of people drive, right? Now, number 3, is no surprise either, is the Mitsubishi Mirage, right? It's 13.6 fatal accidents per billion miles. Little cars, they can say whatever they want. Small cars are more dangerous. You get hit by a big truck, the odds are you're going to be crushed more than if you're in a giant vehicle, right? Now, number 4 makes total sense. The Porsche 911. Of course, Porsches driving like maniacs. As the old joke goes, what's the difference between a Porsche and a porcupine? And the answer is the porcupine has the pricks on the outside, right? And it has 13.2 fatal accidents per billion. Number 5 is the well-known, well-driven Honda CR-V hybrid. They drive an awful lot of them, and they're 13.2 fatalities per billion miles traveled. Realize, of course, you know, the higher up you go, the more problems you can have with rollovers and stuff. A low vehicle won't roll over, but a higher vehicle will. Now, number 6 is the Tesla Model Y. They sold enough of those. They scare the heck out of me, right? I mean, the Model S is even faster, but they don't have the billion miles driven, so it's not included on the survey. It's 10.6 fatalities per billion mile traveled, which is 3.7 times the average car. So, that's a lot. Now, number 7 is Mitsubishi Mirage G4, another Mitsubishi. It's 10.1 fatalities per billion miles. Now, number 8 is a Buick Encore, a SUV, right? It's got 9.8 fatalities per billion miles driving. Number 9 is the Kia Forte. You know, not only do they have problems with the engines going out, they have a problem with the people inside. It's 8.1 deaths per billion miles. And then the bottom is the Buick Envision, a compact crossover, and it is 8 fatalities per billion miles driven. So, you might want to stay away from these cars if you value your life, right? Now, a billion miles is a long way, right? But these are the highest 10 that are sold in the United States. Where's some breaking car part news? O'Reilly Auto looks like they want to take over Napa Auto. It hasn't been done yet, but O'Reilly has made an offer to buy Genuine Parts Company, which owns Napa Auto Parts. They say the bid's more than $10 billion. Now, they don't have any announcing when they're going to merge in that. It's a deal they're trying to get out. Now, if they do make a deal, of course, they're going to face antitrust scrutiny because O'Reilly and Napa are two of the largest auto parts chains in the United States. So people might say, well, that's antitrust. Well, let me tell you something. To me, it doesn't make any difference. These supposed discount auto parts stores, they're not discounting anymore. Their prices are higher than most places. They're just like a convenience store, right? You want to get a roll of paper towels. You want to drive to the grocery store, wait in line, No, you go to a convenience store and you pay twice or three times as much for the same stinking paper towels, right? Well, the discount auto parts stores, they're pretty much like that now. You go there, you buy a gallon of oil. You can buy that same gallon of oil on Amazon for anywhere from 30 to 60% less. Most of the parts you could also buy less, but it's convenient there, right? I mean, last time I checked at an AutoZone, they wanted $200 for a battery for my old Matrix, right? And I ended up buying one for $50 at Tractor Supply. Okay? Tractor Supply had one. And it was only $50. Showing that the discount auto parts aren't discounts. So I don't think it matters who owns what. They're basically all selling the same stuff. Much of it is made in China. That I don't think it's really going to affect anybody. Maybe they'll buy them. Maybe they won't buy them. But, hey, there isn't that much difference between any of them, really. Well, that's it for today's breaking news. Remember, I'm always following the car news of the world, whether it's serious news, something that's going to impact you, or hilarious news, like the traveling toilet. I'm here, I'm finding the stuff, and I'm going to bring it to you as soon as it comes to my knowledge. And I read a lot.